Naruto, Konoha's 10 most powerful shinobi who weren't Hokage. The Hokage is often seen as the strongest ninja of Konohagakure, but there are plenty of other powerful shinobi who never took on the title. Konoha has produced some of the finest legends of the Naruto universe. Whether they're taijutsu masters or ancient warlords, there is no shortage of gifted minds in the Leaf. Unfortunately, many of its denizens are frequently overlooked on account of the Hokage, whose office is at least partially a testament to their combat prowess. This oftentimes gives the Leaf's most powerful denizens less credit than they deserve. By identifying its most formidable warriors and by acknowledging their accolades, we can better realize that the strength of Konoha is through more than its leaders. 10. Sakura was a healing expert, helped defeat Kaguya. Sakura Haruno may not have been impressive when she was introduced at the beginning of the series, but her tutelage under Tsunade returned dividends. With her counsel, she grew exponentially more formidable in physical strength, chakra control, and her affinity for healing others. She was able to save Naruto from the brink of death and participated directly in the fight against Kaguya, which is more impressive than her other Team 7 colleagues since they were infused with Hagoromo's blessing. Moreover, her mastery over her chakra seal grants her an excellent edge in combat under dire circumstances. 9. Obito's Kamui Rinnegan are a deadly pair. Obito Uchiha was a former member of Konoha who became estranged after the brutal wound he had suffered. Once he had uncovered that Kakashi killed Rin, he committed himself to Zetsu and Madara, his former captors, with the entirety of his being. This made the Fourth Shinobi War exponentially more difficult to win on account of Obito's skillfulness. He was so proficient at the Kamui that Naruto and many of his allies could not land a single blow on him amidst the raging battle. Even Minato struggled to keep his former student at bay. 8. Sasuke Uchiha's strength is overshadowed only by Naruto. Like Sakura, Sasuke has achieved many augmentations since his introduction to the series. In addition to mastering the curse mark and everything else Orochimaru taught him, he evolved his Sharingan after Itachi's death, inherited the power of Indra, and obtained the Rinnegan. Perhaps the rogue Uchiha's most devastating abilities are his Chidori and Amaterasu. The former is a concentrated rod of lightning that can destroy its targets effortlessly, and the latter is a voracious flame that will continue to incinerate its target until nothing is left. 7. Kabuto's aggressive scientific enhancements made him unstoppable. Though Kabuto's true origins were unknown on account of his amnesia, he was adopted by Nono Yakushi, integrating into a Konoha orphanage and identifying as one of its denizens for the earliest chapters of his life. He may not have been particularly deadly at first, but his years of research have yielded terrifying results. In addition to mastering Uzumaki regeneration, he retained the Jutsu and Kekkai Genkai of the Sound 4 and even copied many of Orochimaru's own techniques. The medical ninja's arsenal was so impossibly daunting that Itachi was forced to use the Izanami to subdue him. 6. Itachi Uchiha was the strongest genjutsu user in the series. Itachi Uchiha was a magnificently skilled genjutsu user. His prowess was so staggering that he was able to not only avoid Kurenai's illusions, but also turn them against her, even though she is considered an expert in the field. Moreover, he is capable of creating a Susanoo and has familiarized himself with the full potential of the Sharingan. The only genjutsu stronger than his own is the Infinite Tsukimi, a spell with a massive prerequisite in order to use properly. 5. Jiraiya's versatility experience made him formidable. Jiraiya was the mentor of Nagato and Naruto Uzumaki. A veteran of the Second Shinobi War and the direct student of Hiruzen Sarutobi. His diverse arsenal made him a force to be reckoned with. Not only could he summon a trio of colossal toads to assail his enemies, but he was also almost as proficient at the Rasengan as Minato himself. The sage possessed dozens of additional abilities that he would occasionally employ, such as oil spitting, spiked hair shielding, and even genjutsu. 4. Orochimaru was an enormously powerful villain who killed 2 Kage. Orochimaru was the leader of the Sound Village and another former student of Hiruzen Sarutobi. Many of his jutsu were oriented around treachery. Including bodily extension and distortion, dozens of different snake summonings, and intimate familiarity with the forbidden Edo Tensei. Though his triumph over the third Hokage is commonly regarded as his greatest feat, he demonstrated similar success against Raza before the attack on Konoha. His victory under both circumstances illustrates a brilliantly deviant mind and proves him as a capable shinobi warrior. 3. Danzo Shimura was a seasoned veteran who nearly defeated Sasuke. Danzo Shimura was an acquaintance with Hiruzen Sarutobi and an ally to Orochimaru. His bond with the latter imbued him with a massive advantage over other ninja in battle, specifically his Izanagi arm. By binding many Sharingan together through the stabilization of Hashirama cells, he was able to rewrite his deaths in combat with frequency. Shimura was nearly able to kill Sasuke during their battle and quite reasonably could have done so if he wasn't holding back for most of the encounter since he was reserving his strength for Obito. 2. Might Guy was unstoppable after the 8 gates were unlocked. When Madara Uchiha's power grew so considerably that ninjutsu and genjutsu both became irrelevant, Might Guy understood what he needed to do. The Jonin pushed his body to the limit, unlocking the 8 gates and attacking the villain with every fiber of his being. If his body hadn't expired before he was able to finish his target off, he would have successfully destroyed him. It wasn't the only demonstration of the hero's strength. He was also one of the few shinobi alive capable of overcoming Kisame in spite of his treacherous chakra-eating sword. Samahada. 1. Madara Uchiha decimated the 5 Kage, an entire ninja army. Madara Uchiha is arguably stronger than any Hokage past or current, especially if one measures him against Naruto after he had lost Kurama. Moments after he was resurrected, he destroyed an entire shinobi army and would have left no survivors if Inoki had not mustered all of his strength to halt his meteors. When the 5 Kage confronted him, he was able to overwhelm them with fairly little difficulty in spite of their impressive teamwork and deadly jutsu. Ultimately, Zetsu's betrayal may have been the only thing that could have taken him out.